Hi friends, it's me, Miss Erin from C.C. Mellor Memorial Library. I'm back today with the 5th book for the Picture Book Children's Choice Awards. That means after today we will have read all 5 of our books for this year. And do you know what happens after we read all 5 books? We were talking about it a lot when I was coming to visit schools. After all 5 books, we get to vote. That's super exciting. Should we get started then? Well, you know how I get started. With a joke. Let's do it. You ready? What is a sailor's favorite state? What is a sailor's favorite state? Fishigan. Get it? Like Michigan, but with a fish. Nice, right? All right. So today's book is called Dreamers, and it's by Yuyi Morales. And this one is actually an award winner. You can see the sticker up here in the corner. It won the Pura Belpré Award, which is an award that the American Library Association gives to a book by a Latino or a Latina author every year. And so this one won. So that's pretty exciting. And it's called Dreamers. Dreamers by Yuyi Morales. I dreamed of you. Then you appeared. Together we became amour, love, amour. Resplendent life, you and I. One day, we bundled gifts in our backpack and crossed a bridge outstretched like the universe. Adios, corazon. And when we made it to the other side, thirsty, in awe, unable to go back, we became immigrants. Migrantes, you and I. The sky and the land welcomed us in words unlike those of our ancestors. I see some words here. Give thanks. This one's backwards. It says, speak English. What? Say something. There were so many things we didn't know. Unable to understand and afraid to speak, we made lots of mistakes. We've got 3 different situations here. First, she's talking on the phone. The person says, hello, ma'am. And then the words get really difficult to read, almost like the phone goes all staticky. And she says, aye. And here we've got a map that she's trying to read. Aye. And over here, looks like they're playing in a fountain. I don't think the police officer likes that. You and I became caminantes. Thousands and thousands of steps we took around this land until the day we found a place we had never seen before. Where do you think they are? Suspicious. Improbable. Unbelievable. Surprising. What do you think? Do you know where they are yet? Unimaginable. Oh, well, we can see it's full of books. Where we didn't need to speak. We only needed to trust. And we did. This woman here is giving them a hint of where we are. It says library card. They're at the library. Books became our language. Books became our home. Books became our lives. We learned to read, to speak, to write, and to make our voices heard. Someday, we will become something we haven't even yet imagined. But right now, we are stories. We are two languages. We are lucha. We are resilience. We are hope. We are dreamers, soñadores of the world. We are love, amor, love. And that's the end of the story. So this page says my story. I'm going to pull it down so that I can read it a little bit better to you guys. All right, so this says my story. All of us have stories. Each one of them is different. This story began in 1994 when I crossed a bridge with my 2-month-old son, Kelly, from Ciudad Juarez, Mexico, to El Paso, Texas. And though I did not know it at the time, to a new life in a strange and unfamiliar place, the United States of America. Once here, I was surprised by the quietness of the streets, the houses neatly lined up along the roads, and later by the cold winds of San Francisco Bay in summer. I had come so that my son could meet his great-grandfather Ernie, who was very ill and not expected to live much longer, and to marry Kelly's father, a U.S. citizen. I wanted to return to Mexico soon afterward, but was shocked to learn that because of U.S. immigration rules and my new status as a permanent resident, I was now expected to remain in the United States. I had become an immigrant, but could I possibly call this new place my home? Like most immigrants, I missed things that felt familiar. My family, the food, my friends, my job as a swimming coach, and my ability to communicate, to understand and be understood. In this new place where I did not speak the language, it was as if no one seemed to notice I existed, as if my words and actions didn't count. In those first days, I constantly wondered if I would ever find a place where I felt valued. Then one day, Kelly's grandmother brought us to a building that would change our lives forever. We discovered the public library, and it was spectacular. Did you guess that they were at the library? I had never been in a place where you could just take books from the shelves without asking and without being scolded for taking them. And there were picture books, something I had never encountered before. I could not believe how beautiful and sturdy they were. And then when I opened them, I was amazed at the power of their illustrations. Even though I could understand very few of the words, I realized that I could understand the story through those images. A realization that would come to inspire me later on. I began bringing Kelly there almost every day, and although at first it was difficult for a little baby to stay longer than a few minutes, eventually we were able to spend entire afternoons looking at picture books, often only leaving when we were told the library was closing. We were at home. During those years, as Kelly got older, librarians at the Western Addition Branch, Richmond Branch, Presidio Branch, Mission Branch, and the San Francisco Main Library on Larkin Street, among many others, guided Kelly and me to find books we could love, though in an English that I struggled to understand. One day, when Kelly was not yet 2 years old, Nancy Jackson, the children's librarian at the Western Addition Branch, handed him his own library card. I was in awe. We could now take home a stroller brimming with books. One of the most important things I learned at the library is that through books, we can find our path and our purpose. I also learned that I love to tell stories and that I could tell them through books. I studied the books I admired so much and became determined to make my own. My first efforts were very simple and very crude, made by hand and bound with ribbons and filled with my own stories and drawings. I was so proud of those books. Kelly was not a dreamer in the way the word is used today to refer to young undocumented immigrants who were brought to the United States as children and who have lived and gone to school here and know no other country than this one as their own. Kelly and I were dreamers in the sense that all immigrants, regardless of our status, are dreamers. We enter a new country carried by hopes and dreams and carrying our own special gifts to build a better future. Dreamers and dreamers of the world, migrantes soñadores. Now, I've told you my story. What's yours? It's a pretty neat book, isn't it? And then here at the end, we see our author again, Yuyi Morales. So that was today's book. Now that we've read all 5 books, should we look at them again? You can find these videos on our Facebook page if you don't remember them or if you missed one week. We read We Don't Eat Our Classmates. We read The Idea Jar. We read Mixed, a colorful story. And we read The Wall in the middle of the book. And we read today's book, Dreamers. So normally at school, I would ask you what book you wanted to vote for. And I would remind you that you get 1 vote and that you should vote for the book that you like the most. Not the book that your best friend likes the most. Not the book that your teacher loves to read to you, but the one that's your favorite. But since we are online, you can ask your whole family, and each person in your family can get 1 vote for 1 picture book. So what book will you vote for? You can leave us a comment and let us know. I'd love to hear which one was your favorite. So before we go today, should we end with another joke? Let's do it. Let's read this one about ghosts. Spooky. How do ghosts keep their haunted houses cool? How do ghosts keep their haunted houses cool? They turn on the scare conditioning. The scare conditioning. Get it? Like air conditioning, but scary. Scare conditioning. I love a good joke. So thanks for reading the 5 books from this year's Picture Book Children's Choice Awards with me. Next week, we'll still be back. Don't worry. We will read a few books from past years that I remember fondly, and maybe you will too. And after that, we'll try out some new books as well. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you soon. Let me know which one you're voting for.